Hello and welcome to this special edition of TGS Preview, which is just some name I just made up.
It's a show now.
It's a show
Can't
now.
take it back.
Yep.
TGS Preview. We've been joking for a while doing this week in TGS, and we're kind of doing that. With me tonight and this morning is uh, Anaheim Angels manager Bull Cubs.
Hello.
And also um, expansion draft manager Mike EBC.
That's some Montreal Expos erasure right there.
Viva la Montreal. So the way TGS runs is we have Sims Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we have Sims on Sunday. The Sunday Sim should be rolling in maybe while we're streaming, maybe not. Um, but
In an hour and a half.
that's when it's scheduled. Um,
If we're still streaming in an hour and a half, something's either gone really wrong or really right.
And
yeah.
we're in the watch party, which is where it's going to be streamed.
Oh yeah. So when people start streaming in, it's gonna be our sign to log off. So that'll be a good timer, I guess. So yeah, let's start off with like a sim recap. You know, you can't really see the standings well here, but here are the standings. This is terrible. Here are the standings. So in the American League, we have the Kansas City Cowboys, led by Max Fire. Then the Boston Red Sox, who I think were tanking last year, maybe.
Not last. They
Um,
were injured last year. This year
Oh,
they're tanking.
this year they're tanking, but they're somehow 16-8. They traded away. Who was the big trade that they got rid of?
Everyone.
They traded away a lot of people. I don't think
They,
and
uh,
and and let Ray Sims go in the expansion draft as well.
so. They jettisoned a bunch of talent and are 16-8. Then we have Sparrows Oakland Athletics, who,
the first expected team up there.
yeah, um,
This is
he.
this is one of those teams I look at as someone new to the league, and I just like throw up in my mouth a little bit.
So I don't know when he joined exactly. We had another manager, but he tanked pretty hard. 2024, 2025, 39 and 43 wins, and then slowly got back. And since about 2027, I guess, he got a whole bunch of like first round picks and has been crushing it. And his
He three first overall picks in a row, and they are his ace pitcher and his two best hitters.
Isaac Knott, who's probably the best batter in the league.
Yep.
Um, who's the other one? Nate
Nate
Ramos,
Ramos.
also one of the best bats in the league.
Yep.
And then Adelia.
Yep.
I don't quite remember the draft, but pitchers like are hard to develop.
Yeah, I thought taking Adelia was not the right pick. When there was a fully developed catcher who would be one of the best hitting catchers in the league in Vince Scotti, the who the Brewers took fourth overall.
Draft list is
Worked
this
out
one?
though.
Yeah, it did. I'm surprised Adelia fully developed.
Draft history. This is what I want to see. 2025. Let's see who out of here. Is it 2025 or 2024? I think it was 2024. Yeah. So there's quite a few studs here. Adelia, Hinson.
Hinson was a reliever when he was drafted.
Did he dev TCR a
Yeah,
pitch?
he TCR'd I think a third pitch.
I don't know. Is that going to show up here or is that
Yeah,
after?
it should say added to repertoire. Yeah,
Added a cutter to his repertoire in 2027. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
So it was a controversial pick because it was a though for the Blue Jays, it was a late round first round pick. Their competing team, he was a almost fully developed reliever, so it made sense. But that he devved into a starting pitcher is insane.
Yeah. Uh, we've seen something recently with the Mayo character as well, kind of do that.
Apologize if there's noise in the background. My dog is
Happy to
attempting to
see
get
you.
into the room.
Happy to see you.
Who are you looking for?
The Rockies pitcher that just TCR'd.
Rockies have had so many TCR pitchers.
Gabe Moyo. THC Moyo. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, this is gonna be nasty. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, then we got the White Sox, Leanne's team. Trying all gas, no brakes. Doing okay. You can see all gas, no brakes. Um, Volkmar in
Surprised
center
they're only
field.
fifth in runs scored. Oh, Volkmar only 60 range now.
Yeah, is this? Yeah,
He wasn't a good center fielder to start.
it's all on Cody Montesi. Um,
Yeah.
Cody Montesi's gonna, drag this team kicking and screaming to the top. And then who's the last place? We got a three-way tie. We have the Brewers, who used to be a National League team, who's now an American League team, with this guy. Put up 7 WAR in his rookie season. I think that's when he won Rookie of the Year, right?
That
Oh,
is
no.
typically when people, yeah, win Rookie of the Year.
In their rookie season. So he's doing some weird load management with his pitchers. I think just trying to get 30, 30, 30, 30, and 4 pitchers in every game. It's an idea. And then we got Tony and his twins. Newman. Oh, okay. Cube in the Kansas City Monarchs. He does a show where he does some video pods about his experience trading, and I think he started touching on this Newman trade. I
Well, he
don't remember.
swindled me out of Newman to start.
There was a lot of trades at the beginning of the league that was. Um,
That's my fault.
you got Kudyaman and you got Mass.
Can I talk
No,
about
no,
that for a
that was
minute?
who I traded for, or traded Reds to
Oh,
get Newman.
oh, I see.
Uh, then Newman had a dog shit year.
Yeah.
And I traded him away for Alex Grazier, a nobody, Max Keever, who should not be that, is not that good, but had a great year last year, and Vallejo, who I traded away.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Kiever. Where were you playing him?
Uh, First base, left field,
Oh, okay.
mainly
Yeah.
first base.
I don't know. It's not the worst. He's
No, he's not the worst, and he fits my park, which is Oracle, so it's no home runs.
yeah.
But he's not like that's not what you want to get from a first baseman.
Right. Okay, so that I think that. Oh, and then we have the Baltimore Orioles with the love of my life, Roman Damrach, on pace for 9.8 WAR. Baltimore kind of, I think, pushed all in ish.
Yeah, they
They
spent a lot on pitching this year.
they got they picked up Ray Sims fully retained for a bunch of
No,
It
guys.
can't be.
50%.
It's half retained.
Half retained.
So it's he's still paying 25 mil.
Oh, okay. For a bunch of guys, good guys, basically River Kong. who
Started the year as one of the worst center fielders.
yeah, still learning. The training penalty is punitive. Um,
Once I get to 5 below, I've never seen it be that bad of a penalty.
yeah, and then just some other guys. But yeah, picked up lots of pitching. Probably one of the better pitching staffs, I would say. Like I
Yeah,
think,
he went from one of the worst to one of the best.
yeah, these all guys look really good. Uh, the two
Wise,
pitches,
yeah, I think he was not borderline when he signed him.
yeah, the transition to the
No,
transition to
that he signed him in 24.
Yeah,
oh
I think
24,
he just devved down a bit.
yeah, but still he's like a lights out reliever. I
Yeah,
think like the two bad pitches that it just kind of doesn't like him. And who else do we have here? If I can get to the
he
page properly.
also, yeah, he also signed.
Solis as a number 4 is really really good. This would be like a number 1 on my team.
And he
Uh,
actually, I'm surprised he fully devved. I think he was a borderline for a very long time.
mhm. He's at
And had like no power.
99 101, and so he's probably not going to get any more.
Yeah,
Like this is the profile, but 3+ pitches, probably really easily slides into the bullpen
if
uh,
needed, yeah.
if needed.
And that's the only returning starting pitcher. Everyone else is new.
And then Ku Lung Chu, and this is another guy
Very solid 5.
wrecked, injury proneness,
Yep.
so it's a little sketch, but uh, we'll see. So that's the AL. Let's go back and look at the NL. So the Atlanta Hammers, ran by Jericho. He's, I think I would say like, he's probably had one of the worst lucks in the league. Like,
Well, hands down. Like, it's not even close when it comes to injuries.
so he's been around I think since the beginning. He did well, or no, he joined. I think Khan originally drafted the team, and then he came in and post draft and kind of had to pick up the pieces and deal with some stuff. But 84, 78, 83 win season, kind of like always does well in the first half, and then um, injuries just catch up to him. And so even like last year with the 85, I think he was like he just missed the playoffs by a couple of games, I think.
Yeah, he had one of the most promising staffs in the league, plus like tons of guys coming up. He traded away Martin Coyne and Ray Newman to the Reds, and then everyone else got debilitating injuries that just destroyed their careers, either literally career-ending injuries or just ones that made them regress.
Yeah, yeah, I guess Newman's been around. Yeah, I think it was like 2024 where he ended up having like 8 lights out starting pitchers. And yeah,
Yeah,
he traded away like 3 or 4 of them, and then the rest of them kind of all fell to the side. But
but he got lucky with Aaron Heffetz TCRing into what he is now. Um, Even with the loss in movement.
yeah, I've talked to him a lot, and he kind of figures that his ballpark doesn't. All he needs to do is just strike out people, and like the home runs and the walks kind of don't.
It's
Uh,
pretty standard ballpark. Yeah, it has some depression and home runs, but it's not a ton.
no triples, so it's just really like try to suppress BABIP. The home runs are kind of minimal. I remember him messaging me like, when did I trade him in 2025 or something like that, and he's like, hey, check out this guy in your minors. And I was like, what? I think Celts like TCR'd an extra pitch and he went from like whatever, like 30 stuff to plus 80 plus plus. Because
Yeah.
striking out 40% of your batter's face is a little egregious.
Yeah. And what I'm surprised about is how low his home run per nine is. Like, yeah, he's in a suppressed ballpark, but even at 0.95 home runs, 25 movement should be giving up way more than uh
Mm-hmm.
1.6 to 2 home runs per nine.
What is, yeah, 1.7 is his career, and then his like K rate is in in the majors has been like 14 and a half, which is,
Yeah, and he's TCR'd control, which has helped him a ton.
oh yeah, yeah, you can see he went the 1 year with me 5.9 down to 3, and so yes.
Yeah.
So I get to face him this sim, so that'll be kind of interesting. Going down back to standings, we got the Mets who won it all last year. They didn't make a lot of changes in the offseason, right?
They didn't really need to, I think. Like, outside of a few guys, they didn't have many people leave.
Right. So Hawkins is one of those first round picks who, you know, just been pumping out WAR. Um, Traded for Schultz a while ago. Josh St. Clair, I think, was. Oh no, that was a while ago
That was,
too.
uh, it was for the Atlanta's starting center fielder, I think, Trejo, if I remember correctly.
Block,
Yes, it
Pagan,
was.
and Trujillo. Yeah. Um, I know I've traded a few times with. This is, I think, TJ's team, right? Like I traded
Yeah.
Aldana over. Aldana's been traded, I think. Again, that's gonna get processed uh, today. I think Aldana got traded.
Well,
Let me check.
there's one of the few words that are a total giveaway that you're Canadian.
No, Crandall got traded.
Oh, Crandall. Okay, yeah. Um, that's another one of the guys I've sent over. I'm basically a farm system for the Mets. Hoffman, I traded him last year. Um, but yeah, good team. Um, then we have
Chapman's still not giving up a run.
DRC's Cubs. So DRC last year, I think, what did he go, like 10-20, something like that?
He was 10 games under 500 going into July.
Yeah, and then
And
he,
by the end of, or like 6 weeks later, he was 10 games over 500.
yeah, he went on a bit of a tear. Um, I think something that uh, someone mentioned to me is that like he's very quick at uh, trade block postings. So he's got a trigger finger to like get those guys. So I think he's already.
He's very hysterical.
So
So like,
he picked up McCartan from you after I took Stifle from you. Let's look at McCartan.
McCarron is someone that like I really like, and he fits my ballpark. But I have so many relievers that I just didn't have room for him. And I think he's someone that, given the right role, could be a impact reliever.
You got Cisco Ramirez, who is pretty much ready to DH somewhere.
He's a left fielder. He's fine in left field.
Yeah, and then Collado.
Uh, a lotto ticket.
You love the intelligence. You love the
I
intelligence.
when you're never drafting high, you need to hope for it. And I've never actually had any of them work out. Only Gilbert won, and he's just a reliever.
Moving on. Philadelphia Phillies. This is Chimera's team. Historical, contender. Um, Changed his park 2 years ago into
And then changed it again.
into this monstrosity. This is like a Coors Field one, right?
This is
Uh,
Great American Ballpark,
yeah, and this
Oh, okay.
is
but like
uh
mirrored.
something like that. And the funny thing is, this is the
Toned down
perfect
version.
version.
Yeah. We had one where what was it? The doubles and triple, or the doubles were like 1.5, the home runs were like 1.5.
Yeah, it was insane.
It was a lot of runs scored in
Wade
Philadelphia.
Wilcox broke the home run record.
Yeah. He hit 70 home runs with 156 RBIs.
Oh dear.
Probably won't see that again. He's only on pace for 41 home runs. Reese Dunphy was like inaugural draft pick, and he's still good. Chugging along, pitching close to 200 innings. Chimera has like a strict pitch count on his guys, so leans heavily into his bullpen.
Probably the greatest starting pitcher in TGS history currently.
Yeah, he's got quite the pedigree. If we go back and kind of look at his pitching stats, like 42 WAR in how many seasons? One, I guess it'd be 8 seasons now.
36. It's yeah. Well, or I guess depending on which war you
Oh
look
yeah,
at. Yeah.
our WAR. Yeah. I use the run per 9 WAR. I don't like
I'm
FIP.
trying to transition to it as much as I can, but I'm still used to using FIP.
Yeah. So yeah, good pitcher.
Have you just decided that our war is better?
Yes, arbitrarily, I've drawn a line. I've said our WAR is the best WAR
All right.
because FIP isn't real.
Nothing's real.
That's my that's my hot
It's-
take.
It's a little bit more complicated with it being an OOTP, but I do think there's reasons for both, though R per 9 makes a bit more sense for war
Yeah,
because that's actually how much they've actually produced, where FIP is, yeah, it's not actually how they produced.
it's like RBIs as a stat. It's like tells you some stuff, but the one thing I know that like Chimera emphasized like when he streams and shows his streams is like the BABIP and the left on base to kind of indicate performance, or like maybe not performance but like luck, I guess.
Mhm.
But certainly, yeah, BABIP is a good indicator of luck for sure.
And then the left on
So
base
now it's a
percentage.
little more complicated.
Well, yeah, but we don't even get BABIP in game. We just get the stupid like BABIP.
You get BABIP potential.
Yeah, BABIP potential wherever I have it.
And it's the formula that was before already there, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, and I like at least I don't know if you guys have looked really hard, but like it doesn't seem like there's a good spread of BABIP anywhere. So it's like everything is between like 50 and 60.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little, and like the home run potential is like, because I think like maybe we'll start seeing it on guys generated in the 24 engine a little bit more, but I feel like
Home run potential looks almost 1-to-1 with movement.
yeah. So next is your Pittsburgh Pirates. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna hope that I can continue winning one-run games. Being 10-3 in one-run games definitely helps. But yeah, made a trade with I guess both of you. Made a trade for Ian Cousins to take over and try to hit some home runs in Pittsburgh in right field. And then who was it? Teifel?
Stifle, yeah.
Stifle.
Steif. Yeah.
And we were talking, and you're like, probably gonna start him. I'm probably gonna start him.
Yeah. I don't like. He was my plan to be a starter until I had another guy get the borderline tag removed from himself, and I also just signed Jake Jones. I don't think he's a bad starter,
So
but I don't think he's a top starter either.
I signed Emmerich, and I feel like Emmerich and Stifle are, you know, clones almost.
Well, you gotta remember Stifles. You have him as a reliever.
Oh,
Currently.
yeah. So I guess I can. How would I?
Open player profile.
Editor. Starting. Go back to the player comparison. So yeah. So either have him out of the pen and do well, or it's just another. It's another option.
Yeah, he's a solid rotation option, but it probably performs better in the pen.
Yeah. Okay, so talking about some of the top performances, Stats Plus has this nice feature where they kind of list people. Tony Zepeda, he's been kind of on a tear. He's already at 1.2 WAR. He apparently the past sim went 12 for 27 with 4 home runs. So you can kind of see just in whatever the last 5 games here. Although 3 of them have been losses, so that's must be a little frustrating. Good player.
You got PJ Pratt on your team, who's up there in OPS.
Yeah, Pratt's has no business doing what he's doing, but he does have 55, 70, 35. So I want to think of him as like a Chris Davis type player.
No, you don't.
No,
Good.
good.
Trust me. You
good,
don't want to.
good Chris Davis though. He had
Like before they took away his prescribed medication.
exactly. So
Okay.
When he was on Adderall.
yeah, when he was able to focus and hit some bombs. So already at seven home runs. I don't think he's gonna break anything. We have Isaac Knott, who we kind of already looked at, but Isaac Knott had himself a week. 11 for 26, and Oakland four wins. We got Bob Corley. I know Bob Corley was a guy that Jericho wasn't going to be upset if someone took him. He's gonna
Contract, I'm not surprised.
gonna get paid. He's getting paid. He's getting paid
Way to continue to get paid.
He's gonna continue to get paid unless he thinks.
I don't know how he thinks he's going to get more than 32 mil on the open market.
He could opt out, which I'm sure Jericho would kind of like.
I mean,
but
if he randomly puts up like 6 WAR this season, I guess I could see it.
He's on pace for 7.1.
Yeah. This is quite the profile. So
Very sustainable.
Very sustainable.
And I think his contact's been dropping.
Scouting. Yeah. So is that? Well.
Oh, I guess for the last year it's been.
It's been pretty steady. Yeah. Apparently his overall is just going up, but overall is silly. Tanner Sizemore made the list. He had 1 at bat. No, 4 at
I
bats.
take pride in starting his career.
He played one game, which was a 7-5 loss. Um, but in the 7-5 loss, Sizemore, did he hit a home run or
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
He hit a 2-run double.
4 for 4, man. That's a good game.
Yeah, 4 for 4. So he made this list, and there's Pratt, Trujillo, who's the current NL batting leader after whatever 23 games.
When he stays healthy, he's one of the better center fielders in the league.
Yeah, that home run power really kind of props him up. 47 home runs from your center fielder is probably, even if he gets to 25, that was kind of like what I was going for, talking about
Yeah.
yesterday. End of his ARB years, it looks like.
Yeah, he's a free agent after this year.
So we'll see. But again, early projections for 8.6 WAR. Let's take a look at some of the pitchers. So he had a lot of. Looks like the best performance I want to say is probably from this Jude Kira, who
The ageless wonder.
ageless lone wonder, 35, signed a 2-year contract. How's his velo? Oh, it hasn't gone too bad. What we've seen is around this age,
Or
this
before, even.
between 32 and 35, basically, basically 32 to 35, velo drops off, and yeah, guys kind of no longer,
Completely melt.
yeah, completely melt.
Right, ding.
I'm
No,
looking
Bo
at you,
Wright did
Roman
it.
Nesbitt.
Sorry, what?
Said I'm looking at you, Roman Nesbitt.
Yep.
Merv Nesbitt?
Only one T.
Yeah, too many Nesbitts. Twinkle Toes.
That's the one.
Yeah. You can kind of see this going on. It's 96, 98.
Yeah, no, he, like, I signed him and he immediately lost like 5 points of stuff, 5 points of movement, and 10 points of control.
Which is weird because usually when they get older, they TCR control, if anything.
I know.
Yeah.
At least the contract isn't egregious.
That still is like a
Yeah,
solid,
still a fine start.
and like the pitches play up still. So, like Boatwright, I think he started to lose. If I can remember how to spell his name.
Yeah, Nesbitt's one of my bigger regrets from the Aussies. Not because like he immediately imploded, though that did happen.
Yeah. Sorry, I
had-
was laughing at Boat
Oh no, I know.
numbers.
Jeez. We go from 80 to 25.
I think
Yeah,
it,
30,
he was
35,
like
35.
he was way over 82. Like he was the best strikeout guy in the league.
and he was on waivers, and then he got claimed, and then he immediately died. It was very tragic.
He lost all motivation.
Yeah, he was like, "You put me on waivers," and then
I guess I'm washed.
someone claimed him. It's like, "Oh yeah, I'll take this
Jeez.
contract," and then
It was Mushroom really wanted him, but Roscoe swooped in and took him.
Look
so
at that plummeting stuff line in the charts on the right. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Preston Ball apparently did well. I haven't heard that name before. We kind of have like a glut of like these types of guys, and they all seem to be concentrated on good teams. So I don't really know a bunch of these guys just because my team's not good.
At relievers, there's so many ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
I think he's a reliever, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or he's an emergency starter if you smoke.
Yeah, like it. There's a lot of these guys where it's like I've never heard this name before, and some pretty good ratings.
Yeah. So he had a good sim. Uh, we had some rookie debuts. Let's look at Michael Kinch.
Probably the biggest name that debuted.
Yeah. So he came in through a trade.
That was for Logan Vossine, or
Yeah, Logan Vozine. Um,
I'm so bad with names.
there's like a French Canadian musician called Rock Voisine that we learn about in school. He's from the 80s. I don't know. Snaggle probably knows him personally. But so this is a decent, probably a slightly negative outfielder. But yeah, this bat is obnoxious.
Yeah,
Gonna strike out a little. If he got up to 35, wouldn't be too upset. 2 home runs, 12 RBIs.
This Adam Dunn looking kind of guy.
Yeah,
could pitch in a pinch too.
can run. Can he pitch? He can pitch. Oh man, yeah. This guy's fun. Do we know like position ratings for pitchers? How that impacts anything?
Defensive, it's probably the least
Useful thing. Yeah.
impactful defensive. Like, I think there's only one pitcher that's been consistently good defensively, and that's Reese Dunphy.
Pruitt, I think, won a Gold Glove one year.
Yeah, like
Off of-
every year there's some pitcher that just is really good, but I don't know what makes a good pitcher. Like, probably high error, and that's about it.
Right. Well, actually, let's go look at Dunphy's ratings for a second. Just kind of
I think
curious.
I remember that they're not that good.
Yeah, he's got
But for
30
some
infield
reason,
error.
he's.
He's only got 1 Gold Glove.
Oh, I thought he was like. Look at his defensive stats, though. I think his ZR is really good for a pitcher.
It's .1. Yeah. Over the years, he's got 18 zone rating.
Yeah.
So we also had a good pitching performance. Snaggles, Jonas Guzman
Former first round pick.
came through with the Cubs. Was part of the Calvin Rentmeister deal. He got quite a bit for Rentmeister, but Rentmeister is a bit of a.
How I explained it to him was, if this was just a deal for Rentmeister, Snaggle, it was a great deal. But then he put Reader in it and didn't get a ton more added to the deal, and it became a bad deal for him.
Was this contract Snaggle signed?
No, he became a free agent after the year.
Oh, it was Washington. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah.
Or it was something like that. Or maybe it was Reader and then the Rentmeister, he didn't get much back for Rentmeister. Or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a big trade because like Rentmeister's still with the Cubs. Reader became his best reliever. And it really did, even though it wasn't the best trade for him, it did bring in a ton of talent that's on his team now in Adeluve and now Guzman.
Yeah. Mendoza's not too bad. Lehman, bat first. Okay. Kind of a liability. Grishaber. Oh, this guy
Yeah,
plays.
I like Grishaber, even if he's not going to be getting a ton of hits. He's going to walk a ton and hit a ton of home runs.
Walk a ton.
For a catcher.
And get on second.
Yeah.
So, avoiding not as many double plays.
I was surprised when he fell in the draft to the 3rd round, I think.
So yeah, so Guzman in his first sim, he pitched. It looks like,
Not
did he
that well.
start? He started 2 games, and yeah, he got kind of rocked. 7 earned runs, 5 earned runs. He gave up 3 home runs. This is the part that always kind of frustrates me. 60, 65 movement and gives up 3 home runs. So
Yeah.
probably will get better. Um,
Yeah, like that's definitely worse than he should do, though he's not that great of a pitcher.
mm-hmm.
I'd
uh,
probably say he's like a fifth starter who should have like a 4 ERA, 4 to 4.5 ERA.
so then we had some milestones this sim. Rod Thibodeau, he got his 1500th hit.
He has quietly been one of the better hitters in TGS, and no one ever talks about him.
Yeah. Career batting stats. You know, basically started with Kansas City. Which Kansas City was the Monarchs?
Yeah, it was the Monarchs.
Um, but yeah, put up quite a bit of war all throughout. 24.7, which discount whatever 1.7, so 23 war in 8 seasons. So solid contributor. Wayne Adams reached 400 home runs. So he's been a guy. Has he played only for?
No, he was with the A's. I think it was one of Sparrow's first trades. No, it wasn't Sparrow. It was
Zach or whatever.
like it was between
Oh,
the
it
main
was.
guy for the A's.
I think Jerry. Was it Jerry?
Yeah, and he traded him to the Hammers,
Yeah.
and then the Hammers in the same season traded him to the Cubs, which subsequently created the rule that we can't trade the same player twice in the season.
Right. So yeah, with the Cubs, a lot of home runs. 43,
Yep.
46, 46, 50, 38, 57, 10. What's he on pace for today? He's on pace for 68 home runs. Yeah, that'd be a couple more seasons. He's what, 30? So he can probably maybe get up to like 600 home runs, as if he can get to his like age 35 season.
Yeah, and if he doesn't fall on his face.
Yeah. Other milestones. So this Yoshiro Yamamoto guy got posted this off season, so he's a rookie this year.
I hate him.
Really good ratings. Defensively, could play second, could play short in a pinch. Probably better at second base. What was the penalty for signing him? It was 50
I think
million.
25 million.
Spread across however many years
Yeah.
the contract is.
So signed a 5-year contract. What's the AAV?
Oh wow. 50. No, I'm sorry, 16 mil.
Right. Okay, so 16 mil and then plus another 2 to 3 for the $25 million tax.
I think
Another
this was a
five
huge
for.
overpay.
Yeah, so you're basically paying about $20 million a year.
Yeah, but it's and I'm just going to call him this until he retires. He's Japan Ugla. It's
Yeah, I mean, like, I can see what's so enticing about him, but he's 26 already. It's highly, highly unlikely he develops any more, and this is a bat I don't really like. He's fine as a starting guy, but not someone I'd pay 20 million for.
Yeah, it's definitely a risk. The infield range 60 probably still play him at second. Anything below 60 with this bat, play him in left field. So, if anything, it's roster flexibility. Boston has like one of the biggest budgets, so it's not too crazy.
And he keeps blowing all the money on guys.
Click
What
the
was
wrong
that?
thing.
So he paid 50 mil for an international free agent that didn't pan out. Paid for, and I'm not. I don't have anything against Kyle. It just is funny his spending habits.
Where is
Paid for a
Boston?
starting pitcher that instantly
200,
died.
200 million. So not the highest.
Mid-range. I think, and especially with 24, how it kind of just messed with all financial stuff. He was one of the hires in the past.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all I want to touch on in terms of the recap. Now let's look at kind of the preview. So TGS says what we should be caring about is this Atlanta Hammers series coming up, where they're going to be in San Francisco for 3 games, and then they're going to be hosting me for the other series. So I don't know what's a good way to kind of look at this. We've already kind of looked at the Hammers team. Kind of good. Don't do anything silly. I think all their starters are startings, no openers. If we go and look at San Francisco, Chody's team.
People keep sleeping on him.
He ended up picking up a few good guys. Tim Hague.
Really fits his ballpark too.
Fits his ballpark. Hector Peabody. That's gonna be good. Alcantara, good. Galvez is a little.
Try to fit him into his own ballpark, but if he goes anywhere else, he's getting it blown up.
Yeah, he's kind of not as bad as
but
Holiday.
he is a fan favorite.
Yeah, not as bad as Alex Holiday.
So he like gives up a couple massive bombs, and the road supporters are still like, but we still love you.
Yeah.
You tried your best. It's okay.
Yeah.
Who's that last starter? Oh, it's Alcantara. Blecha? Oh, this is interesting.
Their bullpen's definitely the weakest part of their team, but they've really built their. I think they have a solid rotation with a strong offense that fits their park really well.
Yeah, so he picked up Calvin McKinney, who was, I think,
Best bet on the market.
DRC was trying his best to keep him. 32 WAR with the Cubs. He's already put up 0.6. His walk rate is similar to Celta's K rate in that it breaks modeling. A 20% walk rate is pretty obnoxious. I think if we go and look at stats, look at whatever split time frame last year. Go look at some batting ratings. Where's walk rate? Do I have walk rate? Walk rate, yeah. So look for all batters, and let's add a filter for whatever. Let's say 550 plate appearances.
I don't know if he got up that high, because he only faces righties.
Oh.
Maybe just do 200 plate appearances.
Well, we can see Joyner.
Yeah.
Joyner also got.
Not even.
Joyner last year's walk rate was 19.8, but
yeah.
Damratch is at 16, and so Damratch at 16 with like an 80-75 eye versus McKinney. How many? McKinney was very platooned. So he had 500 plate appearances. So if we change this back to 500, scroll up. Yeah, McKinney was
Wow,
just
he was
below.
lower than Joyner.
So, but yeah, Kellen McKinney, that ADI VR is just silly. I think he also faced more left-handed pitchers, or I guess he didn't have
Than
enough.
he used to, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah. So Kellen McKinney, big get. Reed Klug, he's been there for a while. 80
Perfect kind of
contact.
batter.
Yeah. 752 plate appearances in 2028.
99 stolen bases.
99 stolen bases. He's a bit silly. Some power for when he's away. Not a bad bat.
And that's kind of the complicated thing with having Oracle as your ballpark. You want to try to lean into it as much as you can, and that power is so nerfed. But that's only 50% of your games, so you got to try to balance having a team that can win both at home and on the road.
I traded him Coatser. I just tried to go a different way. I did this trade while in Japan, and I didn't really think about it, and I was like, I probably shouldn't have done that. But Chody was like, here, we can do this for this, because I was like, oh, I want to get rid of Coatser. And I was like, sure, okay. But now I'm kind of stuck with Haggerty, trying to develop on my 40 man.
At 27, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Or he could TCR. I think like maybe next year I might waive him, but 27 is like the end of the line. Like there's no development after 27 sometimes. Yeah. This is interesting. I wouldn't have thought this would be generating positive WAR, but the gap in the stolen base.
It's what are we 4 weeks into the season?
25 games, 100 plate appearances.
He's a replacement level center fielder. I don't see him like that. If he's a contender, he's probably going to try to upgrade in center field.
Slaughter's kind of neat. This is probably a decent. Where is he playing him? Second base. That's probably fine.
He's going to be a really good second baseman.
Yeah.
He's Wade Boggs, but can actually field.
Wessel. Doing good. Doing well. Meitner. Doing well. So, yeah, this will be kind of interesting. Probably the record not what Chody expected, but we'll kind of see. Other series is the Mets in Philadelphia. So these are kind of like the top teams at the top facing off against each other. Apparently he first has to get through Arizona, and then on the back half he's going to be playing in Philadelphia. So we've already kind of looked at a little bit on Chimera's team. We already looked at a little bit at Mets. I guess expected pitchers would be, well, it's all left-handed out of the Mets. And I really think, Philadelphia is just going to be a bloodbath anyways, regardless of handedness.
It's pretty much two home run hitting, or like just crazy offense teams.
What do you think the over-under is for that, whatever 5-game series, 3-game series? Do you think I think combined, do you think they score more than 50 runs? Probably not.
I think that is where you'd put the over-under, because I think there is a solid possibility. Or is it only 3 games?
Yeah. So I think 50
only
is
3 games. No, I'd still put it up there.
Okay, so
because it's 2 teams.
I'm gonna take the under 50 just because their pitching staffs are still really good. Although I guess
I'd go over.
okay. Where is him? Yeah, so Phillies are last in runs allowed and fourth in runs scored, and the Mets are uh, tied for
First
sixth.
and runs allowed. Interesting.
First in runs allowed. So yeah, so we'll see. And then finally, we'll do. There's a 3-game series between Florida and the Cubs, which is also kind of Roscoe's team doing well. Haven't really talked about his team. I traded him Red McKenzie, which probably was a mistake, but I didn't want to pay him money.
He's kind of the, at least on the hitter side, names of after, like, guys that we've talked about in the past but haven't talked about in a while. Red McKenzie, Sidney Almonte, uh, Elias Snyder.
Yeah, these are all like really really good bats.
Yeah. But they're hiding away.
Yeah, like a 60, 55 power, strong side platoon, switch hitting, second baseman. Pretty good. Top guys, Snyder and McKenzie. Rich Power? That doesn't sound like a real name. Oh, this is a solid shortstop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sneakily well put together team. Orozco.
NL's going to be interesting because I feel like all the bottom feeders of the past few years have really started putting together good teams, while the teams at the top still haven't really fallen off.
Yeah.
All right, you've got new bottom feeders coming in.
Yeah, you and Snaggle J just gonna be having some fun down there.
Let's look at this team.
Okay.
Como's good. He fits the position.
Someone I'm going to probably try to trade for later in the year.
Yeah.
I definitely have a number of players that should be interesting to contenders at the deadline.
Yeah, Jacinto Nunez. Probably not. Even with that bat, probably too much of a liability at second.
Yeah, but you know
Honestly,
what?
I'm not.
He's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I brought him in last year to be my second baseman. You can pull him for defensive replacement early enough. Like, I think it's
Yeah.
worth the bat.
Well, I
He's-
think
he's also not expensive.
sure.
Yeah.
No. That's fair. I think with with a high K, like with a reduced BABIP, probably, or reduced BIP pitching staff. I
Yeah.
think that would help. Mafia is a
Honestly,
big
don't
bat.
think your team's that bad.
No,
It's kind of fine.
you'll get to whatever 70 wins. You have to be like really bad to like not break 70 wins.
I like your VR lineup a ton, actually. I think it's a solid lineup.
Noting, of course, that we've traded Ian Cousins to
Oh
Pittsburgh
yeah, I don't know who you're replacing him with.
with Lincoln Floria.
Let's look up this Lincoln guy.
Who,
Oh yeah, I
who you will
don't
be
think
familiar
he's that.
with.
He's a. His bat's not great, but like he's a defensive corner outfielder who's going to do good base running. Can play center field if needed, and will sometimes get on base.
Yeah, the 55. Where what was it? 55 I, 50 power.
Yeah. Yep. Like, and he's only playing versus Radius, and maybe as a defensive replacement on the other side.
Yeah, I almost reached out about him early on.
And Eugene
Got
Hart.
really good mentals. He's just a fun guy.
Oh, yeah.
Hart's good.
Hart's a perfectly fine shortstop. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking. So I'm at a spot right now where that's one of a few things where I feel like I'm just lost in the woods, right? Like judging trade value is super hard for me right now because I haven't done any of it, and y'all have been in this league for a long time. So there's a lot of history there that I just don't know.
And
Um,
especially defensive value is so hard. Like even
sure.
I don't know how to evaluate like a glove only shortstop too much, or uh a center fielder that is like base running defense and no bat. Like it's
Hmm.
and I've made hands down the most trades of anyone in this league, and it's not even close.
So yeah, the big return for me on the Cousins trade was Leva.
And now you can trade. Well, now you have your catchers for the next whatever 4 years between
Yeah,
Zapata
Leva's
and
probably gonna stay in AAA this year. Um,
And we were talking before you jumped on the call. Like Leva is someone that is very enticing. Like if he fully develops,
yep.
he's going to be a very solid starting catcher.
Yeah, and
Uh,
that was my thinking there, right? Like I'm giving up a very good, albeit on a rental, a very solid VR corner outfielder, and taking on some salary, but in exchange, I have like the first kind of piece in place for when I'm conceptually like trying to start competing, right?
yeah.
Like, is he a world beater? No, but
No, like
is
you don't need an amazing catcher to be a competitive team. It
right, and he's like
yeah,
above average at most things, right? It's
yeah,
not
like he's someone that if he's your starting catcher on a competitive team, you're not looking to upgrade it
right.
because you know you have it locked down both ways. Solid catcher ability at 60, solid bat. Like it's not you're not scared
Yep,
of that being a downside or a weakness on your team.
that
right.
that's one thing that I've it's taken like 7 years for me to learn in game is that you got to look for where your uh at not excess value but like yeah, I guess like improved value. So like not having to really have to platoon him even though like you can, but
Sure.
like getting him on an MILB deal for 7 years where like 4 of those years, well, when you do 7 years, do they do 4 years of ARB or 3 years of ARB still?
4 years of ARB.
Oh, okay. So he's probably like gonna top out at like 6 million, and that
Yeah,
means like you're gonna be able to save so much money.
like I think my starting catcher in Tommy Snipes is a very good example of someone that like even though he's a platoon
That's
guy,
also just an absolutely sick name for a catcher.
yeah. Even though he has a horrible arm, uh,
Oh, that's even better.
uh, like he's someone that I drafted, and he's been on my team for 6, 7 years
Oh yeah.
at a cheap value. I'm not scared. Like even though he was the worst catcher in the league last year, just because of luck, he's not someone that I hate having behind there, and he's cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest part. Like thinking in base game, like just playing by yourself, you're like, oh, any sort of mistake I make, I can like
I
find a
could just
way
dump
to
it off on some poor AI that
yeah that
Yeah.
doesn't understand. But that's a lot harder to do. Like the first thing I did in the league was sign Rich Christ to like a 6 year, $150 million contract, and I that basically signed my like death warrant for like 6 years.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. I
Wow,
got him as a
those are
19 million, and then I paid him 26.
yeah, like it's especially when you're balancing a budget. It is. I think more and more people are noticing you can't sign those long-term big contract deals. Either it's good value or you just let them walk or trade them.
Yeah, we've had to change the rules because we would like add, what was it, player options after team options type of thing, or
Yeah, to get out of an extra 2 years.
yeah. So like team options have to be the last options now, because what you would do is like you like backload the contract, but then you just have a team option as like an escape valve, and then people are just like signing these like really stupid backloaded contracts, and then
Sort
It
of
would,
thing where like the players union is going to look at it and go, yeah, I don't know about this.
yeah,
yeah,
the players
it's
union is like Chimera.
yeah. He's both the commissioner and the players union.
So, so yeah, uh, I guess that's it for previews. Sim's gonna be coming up soon. Thank you to the whatever 3 people in chat listening. Oh, we have quite a holy cow. We got a we
People.
got a ton of people.
Well, it's because there are drops, man.
Yeah,
5 of them are a guy named Tech.
uh, yeah.
You're
Um,
you're I'm I can't. My brain is not doing clever things this morning.
it's too early.
It is too early.
So, but thank you both for joining.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
Hopefully other people want to come on. This has been kind of exciting. And yeah, so let's see. Is there anyone else kind of streaming? Let's look.
Oh, right. Also, if we could collectively pour one out for Johanny De La Rosa, um,
What
I was, I had intended to build up, uh, you know, make him look real good and get him on a contender at the deadline, and he blew out his knee running the
Oh
bases.
no.
So
Is he gonna be back for?
no, he's done.
Oh,
6 to 7 months.
oh, okay.
Someone
Right.
may pick him up to have him in the playoffs.
You could, yeah, you could probably waive him.
Just
Can
go
you
to the
can
injury
you
list. I
trade
typed
people
it
on
in
the
and it didn't
60-day
work.
DL? Is that?
Bro, I did for you. You can trade guys who are injured, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's a VL monster. So like I wouldn't be surprised if you're able to trade him like eating his contract for a flyer or something because he's a bat that someone would want in the playoffs.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, fair enough. He's also willing to extend for like 6.5 million AAV over 3 years.
I don't know if that's worth it.
Probably,
And
probably not, but it's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, it is.
Okay. And on that note, thanks everyone. Thanks Wool Cubs. Thanks Mike. We're gonna raid over to
Thanks, Mr. Forrest.
FKN Commish LB. So yeah. Everyone enjoy your Sunday and talk later. Bye.